Joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight, I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Welcome everyone, I'm Whitney Ward. We are tracking multiple breaking stories tonight across the Northwest and across the country.
This morning, just 2 weeks before the primary election, we learned that Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward will be stepping away temporarily from her mayoral duties to take an emergency leave of absence.
So first, we want to head to Moscow, Idaho. That is where Brian Kohberger, the man who is accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students, was back in a Latah County courtroom this afternoon.
The judge has just ruled on a defense team motion to toss out the grand jury indictment.
We are turning things over now to KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy, who was live in court today and has the very latest. Shannon.
Well, Judge let Kohberger's defense team know he will deny their motion to dismiss the grand jury indictment on the grounds that there were errors in instructions to the grand jury. Now, it is important to note that there is a separate motion to dismiss that indictment on other grounds. There hasn't yet been a ruling made public on that. The defense argued that there's been some discrepancy and different interpretations throughout legal history of the law surrounding grand juries. Specifically, the defense takes issue with the standard of proof used in those proceedings. Defense attorney Jay Logsdon argued a grand jury should use beyond a reasonable doubt as the standard to indict. Prosecutors say this has been argued before and decided by the Idaho Supreme Court that a grand jury's standard is probable cause. The judge agreed, saying he's held to what the state Supreme Court has already decided.
I am constrained by what I believe is settled law in Idaho. I may be wrong, but this is certainly an issue that you would have to bring up with a higher court. These states that probable cause.
Now, as mentioned, the defense is also asking for the indictment to be tossed because of what they call grand jury bias and issues with some of the evidence in that proceeding. Now, there was a hearing held this morning behind closed doors. That is all sealed because they are discussing at length the grand jury proceedings. And as mentioned, we may expect a written ruling on that motion at a later date. In Latah County, Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Now to our other top story. Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward temporarily stepping away from City Hall to deal with a family emergency.
KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk is here now to tell us what he has learned so far today. Kyle.
Well, the city tells us the mayor is in the hospital with her mom, who was diagnosed with a terminal illness yesterday. Mayor Woodward taking a few days and stepping aside from her campaign and duties here at City Hall.
You think about it, it's news that comes as a shock, and you're something you're not expecting, and but something that you need to make the decision to obviously focus on your family at this point.
City Communications Director Brian Coddington says the mayor is still engaged and in regular contact with staff at City Hall, but they're giving her the space she needs.
She learned of the diagnosis yesterday afternoon, and so her mother is in the hospital.
In the meantime, interim city administrator Garrett Jones will handle basic operations of the city and take care of anything that requires a signature from the mayor.
Customarily, when the mayor's on travel or on vacation and away from the office for a period of time, the signature authority delegation does occur, and it typically goes to the city administrator. So that will be his responsibility.
Coddington says the signature delegation goes through Sunday, but could be extended depending on how long the mayor is away.
We'll reevaluate over the weekend as to what next steps might have to be taken, but at this point in time, we're going to just give her through the weekend to be able to focus on family.
It's a very busy time of year for the mayor. Not only is the election 13 days away, but her proposed budget is due to council a week from now. Coddington says staff are finalizing those details.
At the end of the day, we're all human, we all have families, and so it's nice and appreciated to see. I know she appreciates that support very much, and we have to put family first.
And Woodward's challenger, Lisa Brown, put out a statement this afternoon offering her condolences to the mayor and her family during this difficult time. Reporting live from City Hall, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Also, just moments ago, we did get a statement from Woodward's mayoral campaign. They said she is also taking a step away from the campaign trail, but does plan to be back before the general election.
But again, with her departure, tonight's KREM 2 mayoral debate with her and Lisa Brown has been canceled. We will still air our special, The Tea with Amanda Rowley, tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. That special was originally set to air at 6 tonight, but we will instead air KREM 2 News at 6.
Tonight, an urgent manhunt is underway for the gunman who is accused of killing at least 18 people and injuring more than a dozen others at a bowling alley and a restaurant in Maine.
We have just learned within the last few minutes that law enforcement and SWAT cars have surrounded a home linked to a Maine shooting suspect. Here's a live look at the scene at this hour. They are calling for that suspect to come out. We are watching that situation again unfold live right now. In the meantime, Mike Sullivan has the latest from Lewiston, Maine.
Law enforcement officers from multiple agencies are searching for 40-year-old Robert Card, now considered the prime suspect in Wednesday's shootings at a bowling alley and a restaurant in Lewiston, Maine.
He should be considered armed and dangerous. Based on our investigation, we believe this is someone that should not be approached.
Residents in the area are being told to shelter in place. Schools, colleges, and businesses are closed.
If you see anything suspicious, please call us.
We have an active shooter. We have multiple injuries.
The first shooting took place just before 7 p.m. at the bowling alley, where 6 males and 1 female were shot to death.
We have a second one. Second active shooter, Schwangies.
Police were sent to the restaurant about 10 minutes later, where 8 males were killed. Police released these photos of the suspect walking into the bowling alley with an AR-style weapon. Military officials say the Army Reserve sergeant was admitted to a psychiatric hospital this summer after exhibiting erratic behavior and threatening to kill fellow soldiers. Investigators recovered this car registered to Card, abandoned near a boat launch in a nearby town. He also owns a boat and a motorcycle. Police say heavily wooded terrain is complicating their search.
This is a dark day for Maine. This attack strikes at the very heart of who we are and the values we hold dear for this precious place we call home.
So far, the shooter's motive is unknown. Mike Sullivan, CBS News, Lewiston, Maine.
Back here at home, we want to switch gears and talk with our meteorologist, Michelle Boss.
Yeah, bitter cold temperatures are following our first snowfall this season. So when we can expect to see our so-called normal fall weather return, Michelle?
Yeah, normal fall weather is actually still pretty cold. Average highs this time of year only in the upper 40s to around 50. Of course, we're much colder than that today, and we'll be much colder than that for the upcoming weekend. As we take a live look outside in Coeur d'Alene, we've seen some flurries off and on throughout the day in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Nothing's been sticking, and nothing significant is expected as far as any accumulation. Just some flurries here and there, but temperatures are cold. 33 in Coeur d'Alene. They've been as warm as 36 degrees, but already fallen into the lower 30s, and we're sitting at 35 right now in Spokane. It's still in the 40s in Wenatchee, Moses Lake, and Othello. And we've got 40-degree temperatures in Lewiston, but below freezing right now in Moscow. Satellite and radar showing flurry activity across the inland northwest and a few light rain showers from south central Washington into around the Moses Lake area, where temperatures are a little bit warmer. And kind of zooming into the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene corridor, could be hitting a few flurries as you head home, but should not impact area roads. Short-term forecast calls for otherwise mostly cloudy skies. We'll be back into the 20s overnight and tomorrow morning. 41 tomorrow afternoon with little afternoon sunshine as a drying trend brings sunny skies for our weekend, but still chilly temperatures. Lows dipping down as cold as the teens Saturday morning and highs only in the 40s.